Merry Snobmas, guys. Well, due to a technical limitation, we're doing a more standard, simpler episode today. So without further ado, let's take a look at a real Christmas classic. We're looking at It's a Wonderful Life. An inexperienced angel named Clarence is assigned to a man named George Bailey. Throughout his life, George had to sacrifice his hopes and dreams to help others. Well, now he's had it. Believing everyone's life would be better if he were dead, he goes to the bridge and decides to kill himself. But suddenly, an old man has fallen in. George decides to save the man, who, as it turns out, is Clarence, his guardian angel. Clarence decides to grant George's wish, and he'll see what a world without him would look like. What exactly does that look like? Will George like what he sees, or will he regret his wish?
Well, hello everybody, Miss Thompson, how are you?
Jimmy Stewart is perfect as George Bailey. He's able to effortlessly capture the feelings of a man who wants to get everything he wants, but then has life taken away. He cares about the people of Bedford Falls, even if it doesn't benefit him. He's always optimistic, looking towards the future. Clarence is an interesting character. I'm not sure what to say about him. He's sweet and kind, and has
the IQ of a rabbit, yes, but he's got the faith of a child.
He tries to guide George away from death, but he mostly does it by talking. Mr. Potter is a great villain. He's nothing but a slimy bastard with no real moral qualities. There is no caring soul behind those eyes. The only thing he cares about is money. He's the perfect foil to George Bailey. He also plays a part in ruining George's life by calling the police on him. Another thing I like is the way the film reveals the twist. It gives us information slowly, instead of all at once. You slowly realize that things aren't as they seem. It's an excellent example of masterful filmmaking. The only negative I can think of is the film's pacing. It's a slower film, especially compared to most of today's films. Even then, it doesn't really ruin the movie for me. So, I decided to come up with a new section. Because sometimes when I review a movie, there are things I want to talk about that aren't really positive, but they also aren't negative. So, this is a new section called... The structure of the film is rather interesting. The first 100 minutes of the film is told almost entirely in flashback. Sure, one could complain that that's a bad thing, since this leaves the last 30 minutes to get the main story going, but the thing that most people today would ignore is that you need all that flashback to understand who George is as a character. Nothing in this film is pointless. It all serves the story. And now I think about it, the first 100 minutes is the main story. Something I find interesting is that the film is available in both its original black and white version, as well as a colorized version. In fact, as of the release of this video, if you buy the most current Blu-ray of the film, you get both versions. Question is, which one is better? Honestly, I have no real preference. I'll just watch whatever version I feel like watching. Sometimes I'll watch color, sometimes I'll watch in black and white. It really doesn't make a difference.
What else are you? What are you? You a hypnotist?
This film is a Christmas classic. Check this film out whenever December rolls around, or whenever you feel like watching it.
Yay! Hello, Bedford Falls! Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas, George! Merry Christmas, George!
Well, that was rather interesting, as usual. Well, as always, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Have a happy holidays and a happy new year. I'll see you next year.
Ocean Man.
If you enjoy our content, then please consider supporting some film snobs on Patreon. Thank you.